Good afternoon, good people. This is your host, Calvin Anderson, for the Checking With podcast. We are now on season 2, and we're kicking it off with an amazing guest. My guest today, her mission goes far beyond her accolades, her awards. She is a revolutionary individual on a quest to help people not only rewrite the story of aging, but to transform all their fears into excitement and their self doubt into unstoppable confidence. My guest has transformative masterclasses, one on one mentoring, and her personal growth membership, which she's already helped thousands of people across the globe unlock their limitless potential. My guest also is a celebrated or decorated motivational speaker and self empowerment expert who is making more than just waves in the world of personal growth. Her partnerships include Stella McCartney, Soho House, and Snapchat, and she has been featured in top publications such as Metro, The Observer, and Marie Claire. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to our first guest of season 2, Miss Moon Onyx Starr. Moon, how are you doing? And it is an honor. And thank you for saying yes. And I'm excited for the listeners to hear everything that you're going to bring today.
Woo, what an introduction. Thank you so much. I feel very humbled and blessed for that. So thank you.
It is my pleasure. I mean, where do we begin? I mean, I've introduced you. I've given you your Oscar-winning
Yeah,
speech.
very much. That was an Oscar-worthy introduction for sure.
What else can the listeners take from you that I may not have mentioned?
I think you pretty much summarized it above and beyond. But I also I'm a mentor as well, so I do one-to-one mentoring. So that's if people want really like bespoke empowerment. So a bit like what you do as a therapist. So it's very much that like personalized coaching, one to one. I help people find their purpose, turn it into a personal brand like I have as well, which is the most life-changing thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
It's to live life with purpose, to live life with meaning, with excitement, to live life on your own terms. That is true freedom. So I'm most passionate about that mentoring program, but I also help people who already have found their career path in life to build more confidence, more self-empowerment, more inner power, and just any area of their lives that they need support in. That's what I do as well. And I also run an online membership as well. So it's a membership subscription service where monthly I help to empower people. So that's on an ongoing basis.
Yeah.
So people will subscribe to that service and then they will receive, let's say, 2 live masterclasses a month, where we're working on a different self empowerment topic or theme. And there'll be motivational messages, gratitude prompts, weekly challenges, that kind of thing. So just personal development is an ongoing process.
Absolutely.
The minute we stop working on ourselves, we decline. We're regressing. So we have to constantly progress. We have to constantly keep moving forward, one small step at a time. There's no reason for anyone to feel overwhelmed. All you need to do is be 1% better than you were yesterday. And so this is why something like a membership is quite really beneficial. I've had members who've been there for a year and they're a different person from when they started. And this is just a membership. This is a group service. Imagine how transformative one-to-ones are, like what the work you do. So even for me, doing therapy, like having therapy myself was life-changing. absolutely life-changing, and I had just done it with a therapist one-to-one for, I think it was like 3, 4 months, and the way that it shifted my perspective on certain life experiences was, I mean, it's just one of the most important investments in yourself you can make. So, yeah, so that's kind of a bit of additional information. So I do a lot of um, live in-person talks. That's where my real passion lies, to be on stage, really speaking to and empowering large audiences, helping people, as many people as possible, move forward and reclaim their power, because we live in a world where our power has been taken away. And so it is time for people to have that self-awareness and that desire to take their power back and live life on their own terms. So that's kind of, yeah, just a broader feel into the work I do.
Yeah. Moon, let me ask you a question because everything you just said was so powerful and so timely. What do you say to someone who, hearing you, says, I don't know how to grow, I don't know how to make the step to be better, and I don't know how to reclaim the power that I actually have? What do you say to them?
So first, I'd ask them if they want to. Like, do you want to actually reclaim your power? Do you want to work on yourself? Do you want to grow and evolve? Because it's one thing to be like, oh, I don't know how, but do you actually want to? Because the desire has to be there. It's like someone would only come to you to seek out therapy if they're ready to change their lives, if they're ready to transform, if they're ready to heal and to do the work to do so. So I would first just check in with them and see how badly they want it. Is it a true desire? Is it something that they actually want to do? Because, any one of us could have some issue, some life challenge, some addiction. And until the time we want to leave that behind and move forward, we will always be stuck in that. We will never be able to move forward. You have to really have that desire. So I'd ask them, is this something you truly want? Why do you want it? Because they need to have a strong why as well. It's like if you give up anything. I gave up smoking about, I think it was over 10 years ago. Yeah, definitely. It's probably been like 11 years ago or so. I gave up drinking alcohol 7 years ago. I became vegan over a decade ago as well. So, all of these things, you have to have a strong why. So, if you want to leave something behind, why? So, for me, I gave up drinking because it was not helping me progress. I was stuck in this cycle of, I would say, stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. I'm not a mediocre person. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I'm keeping myself so stuck right now. And that's because, if you're drinking like 2, 3 times a week, imagine how many hangovers you have. Imagine how much binge eating you're doing then, how dehydrated you're becoming, the lack of motivation, your brain fog, all of that. So
Mm.
I wasn't progressing, and I had to have a moment where things went too far and they got too out of control, and that's when it's kind of like people normally change when they reach a some kind of climax in their life, right? Some kind of like big something goes wrong or something big happens. It has to kind of shake the foundation a little bit. And that happened to me, and then I was like, I don't want to be this person, like be in my early to almost mid 30s and be this person that's behaving this way. I had to really look in the mirror and be like, is this who I want to be? Like, I know the power and the limitless potential that exists within, and I'm completely suppressing that because of like drinking.
Mm.
And so that's why that was a strong why. So that's why I gave it up. Smoking, I was like doing it more, I would say habitually, because I picked up smoking as a teenager. And I started to feel like a little bit of tightness in my chest. And then I got this like, this alarm bell went off in my head, and I'm like, what am I doing to my health? I'm sabotaging my health here. Like, I'm smoking every single day pretty much. Like, this is not good for since I was a teen. Like, this is gonna have such a negative impact on my health if I don't stop now. I gave it up overnight. Alcohol, I gave up overnight. Veganism as well. I had a really strong why because I'm very into well, I'm very against animal cruelty. I love animals so much, and I was vegetarian already, and I learned about the leather and dairy industries and how they were as cruel as the meat industry. So that's when once I had that awareness, then I gave up, wearing leather, wool. I gave up having dairy, eggs, all of that, and I became a vegan. And so that was my why. It was because I stand against animal cruelty and suffering of other beings, living beings. So that's why I gave that up. So you have to have that strong why. When you have that, you can do anything.
Mm.
You can do anything. So, firstly, you need to want it bad enough. You need to know your why. And then I would say it's really advisable to seek support. So, somebody like a therapist, a mentor, a coach, a community. We can't figure this out on our own, right? We need support. So, find somebody or a group that you resonate with, that understand you, that get you and the journey you're on, and perhaps that group is on the same journey as you. Even if you're seeking out therapy, you need a therapist that gets you. Because when I started doing therapy myself, which was during the pandemic,
Yeah.
when I sought out therapy, I tried out various therapists. I tried going private, and I must have spoken to like 10, 12 people, and none of them understood me. They didn't get me. You know why?
Tell me why.
They haven't been through what I've been through. Unless you've been through that hardship and that struggle, and in that area, you're never gonna be able to really empathize and really know how to support somebody unless you've been through it. So it just kind of was like they just didn't get it. And so then I went through the NHS, and I went to I had a few kind of like consultations. They were trying to identify which type of therapy would be best suited for me. So I said, well, let's go to childhood where it all began. And so then they recommended the Women's Trust. And because the Women's Trust deals with issues of domestic violence and harm caused to women. So I grew up in an environment which was full of instability and chaos. And so they were somebody that really understood because the therapists have been through that themselves.
Hmm.
So they really understand what you need. And that is when I was able to have very transformative support. I did about, I think, 4 months of therapy, and it was very transformative. Like, you should get to a point in your one-to-ones where you're, like, almost bored by the end because you've grown so much and you've healed, and that's when you know, like, the work has been done. It should, like, stop impacting you, and you know, "Okay, I'm okay for now. This has done its job for now." So that's with the really intensive kind of one-to-ones. So yeah, so find this group or an individual that can support you, and don't give up, because like I said, I tried like talking to a dozen different people before I found somebody who understood me. I also then just went into on my own healing journey. I read a lot of self-development books, so that's something I really recommend as well. So you can start by reading self-development books. You can there's a lot of videos on YouTube you can watch. So you just look up the particular area. So let's say financial abundance was something that at one point I had a block with and I was struggling with. So I would read self-development books on that, like your money mindset. I'd watch YouTube videos and listen to audiobooks, again, specifically on that, for example. Or, I had lost my confidence at one point in time. So my friend recommended this book to me and she's like, this really helped me get my confidence back. So I listened to that audiobook. It's called You Are a Badass. And that really helped me, it helped me remember I'm a freaking badass. Yes, I'm a badass, so I need to start behaving and moving like a badass. And, so that's a good starting point too, like, there's a lot of free resources out there as well, and then when you feel you're ready, then it's a great time to start, seeking further support with, like I said, a one-to-one or a community.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your 2025 advice from Moon in terms of your growth, in terms of your community, in terms of your establishment, in terms of where you want to go, in terms of your mindset. I want to get into the topic we've discussed, which is so interesting, and I'm so excited to hear more about it. When it comes to age, what do people need to know, whether they are young, whether they are in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, 60s? What do they need to know about, I guess, age empowerment, aging, and rewiring that sense of, okay, I'm this age, this is how I should feel, this is how I should think, this is how I should be. I'm going to let you take stage now and speak on that, but I'm so interested to hear just the process that people need to go through when it comes to aging.
Absolutely. So firstly, like you said, this whole concept of by this age I should do this, by that age I should do that. So take this societal list of this tick box and tear it up. Tear it up and throw it in the trash, because that does not serve you or anybody else. So that's the first thing, okay? And you need to create your own list. And how do you do that? Well, that is by the first step is really remembering who you are. We have to come back to our authentic selves, because the reason we fear age so much is because of these social norms and pressures. So there's a very set formula for success in society. And what it does, it actually paralyzes people and it hinders their growth, because we feel under so much pressure to achieve certain things by certain ages that we just freeze. It's too much. It's like the pressure is paralyzing. So that's why I said you take that tick box and you rip it up. I'm 41. I write my own rules.
She looks 20, by the way.
20 for life, y'all. That's the thing. It's like age is just a number. It's actually an energy more than anything else. Age is an energy.
Speak on that. What do you mean? It's the energy.
So, what is actual age? Like, these are just numbers that we've given. Even like if you look at the days of the year, the months, the calendars vary in different countries. The new year varies in different countries and continents as well, in different parts of the world. You've got Chinese New Year, you've got the Gregorian calendar. Like, we've got all kinds of these are all constructs, these are created. So, in the same way, age is a number that's been given by society, and age is actually an energy. So what I mean by that, it's how you feel within. So an example, my dad is in his late 70s and he's like 21 for life, Like he has so much energy. My grandfather passed away at 100. And he also was full of energy. He was playing golf up until the age of 90 or early 90s, I think. He was still socializing, playing bridge with his friends. You are as old or young as you think you are. So I'm 41, and the reason why people mistake me for being in my 20s is because I have not allowed society to age me. I've not allowed society to put me in a box to tell me I have to dress like this, I have to look like this, I have to behave like this. You do you, right? So if you are 41 like me and you feel like you're expiring, you feel like your life is, over, your best days are behind you, well, I'm sorry, they will be. But if you're 41 and you feel like, oh, my life is just beginning, I'm just stepping into my badassery, you will. So it's a feeling, it's an energy. That's it. So just remain energetic and excited within, and that will carry you through life. So it's all about that. So it's an energy, and you need to society also tells us that we're expected to get married, to have kids, to have a home, to buy a car, to do this, to do that. And you don't have to do any of those things. If that's not what you desire, you don't need to. Like, I'm I'm 41, I'm not married, I don't have kids, I don't have any desire to have kids or get married. I was married once before in my 20s, and I have no desire to marry again. I'm single and in my self-love era, and I have no desire to have even a boyfriend or, a life partner at this stage. It's like, if it comes along, it comes along, but, like, I'm doing me, and I'm very happy in my own company. So, yeah, you don't have to conform. I don't have any desire to own a home, to own a car, to do this, to do that. I'm again like disruptive in terms of even my career path is it's something a bit different as well. And so I just choose to live life according to my true self, but we don't really know who we are because we operate on autopilot. We're fed messages from the education system to the media, daily news. We're fed certain narratives and certain expectations they're conditioning. It's conditioning. So we just need to take a step back, look at what you're currently doing, your job, your your hobbies, your desires, and ask yourself, are those truly an authentic representation of what I want? Or is this something that has been fed to me by media or, social norms, my neighbors? Am I trying to keep up with somebody? Is this something my parents expect of me? So you have to ask yourself those questions. Okay, so that's one thing, right? So we've got age is an energy, we've got authenticity, looking at your true authentic self. I have various steps that people can take to reclaim their power and embrace their age. And I want to clarify as well before I move on that I'm not saying to people that you should just age gracefully and just kind of be like, well, I'm this age and that's fine and I'm just going to go with the flow. it's about I'm actually saying that you should become more empowered every year. You should become your best version of yourself each year. Not like just, "Oh, I'm gracefully kind of I'm just kind of moving through life gracefully and I'm accepting that I'm getting quote unquote older." No, 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 no. If anything, I'm talking about reversing it and empowering yourself and being stronger because with age, we gain so much. And that's another one of my steps. It's gratitude. So it's looking at all that we've gained. So instead of viewing with age, our best days are behind us, we're losing we're losing our youth or we're losing our energy or we're losing our fun or our zest for life or whatever it is. Instead of viewing it like that, look at everything you've gained, the wisdom, the strength, the resilience, the confidence, the self-awareness, the healing, the self-work. And another thing I say about to empower yourself around your age, you have to put in the work. It's self-work. So it's not just like, let's just age gracefully. It's about if you put in the self-work, every year is going to get better. Every year you live on this planet is going to get better, but you got to put in the work on yourself because you are your most important investment. You are investing in yourself, putting energy into your growth is the best thing you can ever do. When you are strong and empowered, you can show up in the world stronger, more empowered,
Mm.
more of and be more of service to others, and you can really make a difference. So, it is crucial to keep moving forward in life and putting in that work. Okay, so gratitude is there. So this is just focusing on the positives.
Yeah.
And when you are really grateful for all of those blessings that come with age, those are what will expand
Mm.
and that will create your reality. And gratitude is a life-changing practice. It's something that if you wake up every single day, first thing you think of and you say out loud or you journal 3 things you're grateful for, you start your day off on such a beautiful high. You raise your vibration, you carry that energy with you throughout the day. You do the same thing. Keep reminding yourself and checking in. Anytime you're feeling stagnant, you're feeling tired, you're feeling low, immediately just pause. What am I grateful for? Think, think, think. And the more you think, it becomes habitual. And at first, when we start a gratitude practice, it's quite difficult because we've been conditioned to be very ungrateful. Nothing is good enough because of like all this like capitalism and wanting, want, more, 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 more. Nothing is good enough. We've also been taught to be very critical of ourselves and to be overly humble, where we can't just celebrate ourselves. So it's difficult if someone asks you to say, what do you love about yourself? Well, you're going to struggle. If someone says, what are you grateful for? If you haven't thought about it before, you're going to struggle. So again, we've got to create new habits. So build that habit of gratitude, build that habit of self-love. Self-love is another step. Before we move on to that, gratitude. So like I said, wake up every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for, and let's focus on age empowerment, right? So what has age brought you? What has it brought you? If you're really fearful of aging, we got to flip that script. So think about what are those 3 things this morning you can think of that age has brought you. So it could be like, oh, well, I'm more self-aware now. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've made some better quality friends now, with age, with maturity. I'm grateful for that. Um, I've got a better sense of style now.
Mhm.
Like it could be anything. Like there's so many things. And then do the same at lunchtime and do the same thing before bed, at least once a day, ideally 3 times a day,
Yeah.
because that's what will really help it become habitual. But if you do it once a day, every day as well, for at least 30 days nonstop, without fail, it will become habitual. So that's that. Self-love, same thing. It's like we've got to celebrate everything that's come with age. Celebrate yourself. So I can actually honestly say that I feel like I'm my most confident, empowered, beautiful, sexy, sassy self now at 41. And I've noticed a big difference from the age of 40 to 41 because I don't stop working on myself. And this past year, I've put in loads more work into myself on a personal level, career wise, in every way. And I've leveled up so much in another year that I literally like feel even better and look even better. I've stepped things up in the gym as well. I've stepped things up with nutrition as well. And wellness and self care are also, it's one of my steps to age empowerment because we're putting in that work on ourselves.
Yeah.
So like that will, I guess, organically lead me to that point. So with self care, we've got to be, if you want to if you want to practice age empowerment, if you want to be your most empowered self at any age, you've got to look after yourself. So, number one is sleep.
Talk on it.
You've got to be sleeping. If you are sleep deprived, you're losing years of your life. That's number one. So, number one, you're actually losing years of your life. And beyond that, you are suffering mentally. We don't have that mental clarity. We don't have we don't have energy. And if you don't have energy, how can you be your most empowered self, right? So sleep is the foundation. Most people require 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep per night. We need to prioritize that. I have noticed such a difference in myself and my energy and my empowerment. Those nights I've had lesser sleep, oh man, have I suffered. And those nights where I've had a great night's sleep, like last night, I made sure I was in bed by 10 p.m. I wanted to have a fresh mind for today. I like was probably asleep by 10:30, 11, and I made sure I had a nice long sleep in till about 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And I feel fresh. I feel good. And it's so, so, so vital. So sleep, then we've got nutrition. We've got to be eating healthier foods than what we probably currently are. I went through a phase like living alone. I don't like to cook. So I was eating loads of packeted processed foods. And then this year I said to myself, no more. No more. You got to clean up your act and you have to start nurturing yourself. So that's an act of self-love also. So I started having more whole foods like quinoa and, I'm not even having rice. Oh, I cut out bread. I used to live on so much bread. I used to have bread like of some form of wheat or bread
Yeah.
3 times a day. Okay? With my food, whatever else it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, no more. I cut out the bread. I cut out the processed foods. I'm having more whole grain foods now. I have a lot of like lentils, let's say like a dal with quinoa. So instead of rice, I have with quinoa. Or you can even have that lentils as a soup. I have a lot of things like scrambled tofu, mushroom. You can cook some spinach with that. Like a nice kind of wholesome meal or like a nice salad bowl with grains and so you're getting your protein in, you're getting your carbs, you're getting like a nice balanced meal. So I started to clean up my eating act and again that will bring you so much more energy, and you just feel so good, and it has such a great result on your like overall fitness journey as well. So that brings me on to movement. Movement is key.
Mhm.
Daily movement. So that could be like a quick walk, right? A quick walk, and weights is essential for longevity. Weightlifting, weight training, strength training, that's essential. So I do weights at the moment 4 times a week. So I do weight training, and so I this year I also upped my fitness journey. I think last year I was focusing more on yoga, so I got like back into my yoga journey, regained my strength, and yeah, I'd say just I just up leveled my yoga practice. And then this year now I got back into weight training again, and that is essential. So weight training, we need that strength to be able to remain agile and active and, sit up and to move. You need that for your overall well-being, for your overall wellness. And then hydration. So we got to be drinking enough water, right? And time in nature. That's another thing. So going for like a quick daily walk in nature, even if it's like a quick 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is, a quick, popping out on your lunch break. So nature,
Yeah.
that's so healing. And I have quite a few other steps. Like we've got mindset is the other component to this, right? So we've got self love, self care, which I've touched upon. And then mindset is the biggest,
It's the biggest one.
it's the biggest one.
Yeah.
And as a therapist,
Oh, for sure. For sure.
that's really where it all, that's where you have to really begin. It's working on the mind, getting the mind right, retraining, reprogramming the mind to work in our favor, to benefit us and not hinder our growth, because our mind is really a form of sabotage.
That is so interesting that you said it's a form of sabotage because whatever you believe, wherever you think, you will become, as you said earlier. So it's so important, like you said, to have a positive mindset, or else you said this word earlier, you said we'll regress, we'll decline, we'll isolate ourselves and not fully tap into the potential that we all have. Um, so yeah, it all starts with the mindset. Like you said earlier, just that choice to make the steps, to do the work. If we don't have that initially here, we won't be active at all. And even for when it comes to working with clients, because ultimately I'm merely just a guide. It's them who take from the sessions and do the work and, make the steps to have a better life. Because my thing, which I always love, is when a client says to me, Calvin, our last session is on this day. Because then they've 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 made that step now. They're gonna be on their own journey of autonomy. So please, Moon, talk on mindset, talk on what we need to have, especially moving into a whole new year. What key things when it comes to mindset do we need to know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's quite a few steps within mindset to empower ourselves, because it is really one of the biggest areas, right?
Yeah.
It's like from childhood, our minds have had so much conditioning and programming, and it really takes a lot of time to undo that. But the sooner we do it, so if someone is listening to this who is maybe 20 years of age, amazing time to begin. The sooner you begin, the better.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm not speaking to age empowerment. I'm not speaking to people who are 80. I'm actually speaking to any age, but particularly those who are like teens, 20s, 30s, 40s. These are the decades that I've lived through and just touched into my 40s now.
Yeah.
But so this is where I can speak from experience, right? And from my own journey. So the sooner, if I was now, there's so much awareness about self growth and mental health and therapy. And in my generation, there wasn't. So if I were 20 years of age in today's world, I would be starting immediately the work. And I know I actually have so many clients and members who are in their early 20s.
Yeah.
It just shows there's that interest now in bettering ourselves, and there's that awareness how important it is because that's how you empower yourself, isn't it?
Definitely.
So, mindset, we start with knowing that we have the ability to change our mindset and to change our thoughts. We have the power of neuroplasticity. So the brain can grow new neural pathways if we essentially train it to, or if we think in a new way and do that repetitively, we can change our thoughts. We can change that pattern of thinking. We can break down old patterns and create new ones. So neuroscientists have shared with us that if every single day okay, let's say you've got a limiting belief,
Right.
right? So you've got a fear of something, let's say age. You have a fear of aging, that's a limiting belief. So what we would do is we would then turn that limiting belief into an empowering belief. So that empowering belief is like an affirmation.
Yeah.
So neuroscientists have shown if you are repeating that affirmation every single day,
Yeah.
for 30 days and visualizing yourself in the energy of that empowering belief and being that new improved version of yourself, by the end of those 30 days, you would have grown a new neural pathway. And that means you can change the trajectory of your life.
Mm.
You can change who you are because it starts with our thoughts.
It does.
And then our thoughts become the words that we speak. And then the words we speak are what we act upon, and our actions create our reality. So we gotta start with the mind and the thoughts that we experience. So let's start with an example of a limiting belief and how we can rewrite that. Because I encourage people in my workshops to think of a limiting belief that they have, a fear of aging,
Yeah.
and then we rewrite that, then that will become the affirmation that they can then go away and repeat. So let's say the fear is, okay, I fear I'm not going to have I'm not going to have met a life partner
Mm-hmm.
by 35.
Right.
Let's say you're 33 now,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And let's say your fear is I do really want to meet somebody, but I fear that I'm not going to meet the right person. And I feel like 35, any later than that is going to be too late. I need to, but I'm really afraid I won't because society has told me that after 30, it becomes harder. 35, it's even harder.
Yeah.
I'm approaching 35. So that's a limiting belief
Yeah.
because you're essentially setting that like you're setting that up for
Yeah. You're
yourself.
saying that up. Yeah.
You're setting yourself up essentially for that to unfold.
And then you'll start to see whenever you meet someone, you'll have that will just keep triggering in your mind.
That will keep triggering in your mind
Mm.
and you're sabotaging yourself. So we need to turn that
Mm.
into an empowering belief. So I have people write down. So I would encourage everybody now to think of a limiting belief they have around aging. And it could be like related to health, they could be related to love, career, finances, um, social life, anything. Like there's so many fears that we have. I have clients in their early 20s who are fearful that they're too young to do X, Y, or Z
Yeah.
as well. So it's thinking about what it is that's currently holding you back from moving forward around that. So write it down. The first step is to write it down on paper, that fear. So you've got that clarity and that awareness. Then, once you've done that,
Yeah.
you're going to cross that out with passion and vigor and detachment. You're going to cross it out like this no longer belongs to me. You want to hear that pen aggressively
Gotcha.
scratching down upon the notepad and just really just scribbling away that fear. So just do that with intention, do that with passion, and allow that to just scribble away. Okay? Just scratch that out. Then you're going to rewrite that and turn that into an empowering belief. So if we take this example about, not meeting the right partner,
Yeah.
I won't meet the right partner in time. I'm approaching my mid 30s. It's not going to happen. So instead of that, you can say, I am at, I am at the perfect, this is the perfect time in my life to meet somebody perfect for me. The right person is going to come along at just the right time. The more I love myself, I teach others how to love, respect, and nurture me. The more I love and nurture myself, the more I will attract that to myself. And that will happen at the perfect time for me. You just keep putting it out there. That's just an example. You keep putting it out there, that energy of I will attract, but it starts with you, right? So the more that then you look at the self-love step that I described,
Yeah.
the more you love and celebrate yourself, the more attention and energy you put into yourself, the more whole you are,
Mm.
the more you will attract somebody like that to you, right? So it's about starting by turning that limiting belief into this empowering belief. That becomes your affirmation. Say that every day, write it down, say it out loud. You can even look in the mirror and say that if it's something self love related, and visualize that happening as well.
Yeah.
Okay. This is just going to help you reset that initial mindset that you had and limiting belief around that area. So you do that, you'll notice a huge difference. So even Calvin, with you, whatever your limiting beliefs are, do this now for the next 30 days. Call me up after 30 days
I'm
and
gonna
let
call
me
you.
know
I'm gonna call you after
how it's
3 days.
gone down because it really helps. But this is a holistic process. It's not like a one step, I do this one thing and I've solved all my problems. It's holistic. So we've spoken about the gratitude, we've spoken about the self-love, the self-care. These are all steps, mindset. So you've got that, we've got the neuroplasticity, we've got the limiting beliefs, flipping those into empowering beliefs. Gratitude is also a mindset, so we can easily, put that there because it is about shifting your mindset and your perspective from focusing on the lack to the abundance, right? That age brings. Then language. Language is another step, which is huge. So as I said, it begins with your thoughts, and your thoughts then become your words. So that's language. So we need to be very careful of the language we use around aging because what we fail to realize is we are really kind of putting ourselves in a box by the way we speak about ourselves.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, I'm 41 years old, because old does it not have a negative connotation, right?
Yeah.
Old. So what does old mean? It means
Expired.
expired. It means
Yeah.
declining.
Mhm.
It means past its use by date,
Yeah.
right? It's old. This is old. You're not gonna pick up a box of fruits,
Yeah.
that are past their use by date, that are old. So
Mm.
we're just setting ourselves up for failure in a way just by the words we use. Like, I'm too old for this. This is something we say, it's like a common expression. Someone will be like, "Oh, why don't you take up this hobby? Oh, I'm too old for that now." Or why don't you do that? I'm too old for this. So old is something I really encourage people to remove from their vocabulary. I have removed it almost completely from mine. I will never refer to myself as old.
Mhm.
So I say I'm 41 with excitement. I like stand in the power in that power. My body language will be like I'm 41, like woo, because that's how we should feel about our
Yeah. You
age.
should.
And I wouldn't say a lot of people say like, "Oh gosh, I'm gonna be 30." I know how much pressure. There's a lot of pressure actually. 30 is that age, I think, where people feel almost the most amount of pressure, because by 30 is when we're meant to have our lives figured out.
That's what they say. Yeah.
And 30 is actually like the time where you're still very lost and confused actually at 30. So we're not meant to have anything figured out by 30. That is a BS. I really don't know where that number came from, but 30, you're still a baby. We're still a work in progress. We are still finding ourselves, getting to know who we are, trial and error. 30s is all about trial and error. You're trying to like figure things out. You might try one career, you might start another career, or 20s maybe you started something after uni, then 30s maybe you change, you try something else. It's about trial and error, and it's not about, so many people fear turning 30, and instead of being like, "Oh my god, I'm going to be 30," and it's like that language we use around it. Instead, it's like I'm entering a new chapter of my life.
Mm.
I'm entering a new decade. I'm entering a new chapter. Like, this is exciting. So it's again just changing that language. So from negative language,
Yeah.
we're going to change it to positive language. And it really has an impact. It really does. One workshop I did recently, I think it was late summer,
Yeah.
I asked the audience to share some of their new vocab. So I encourage people to create a list of vocabulary. So I asked the audience, share some words, give us some inspiration. What are your new age positive words that you would use? And one woman said, "I'm getting yummier." I was like, "Yes, you are, honey. You are getting yummier." I love that. So it's like empower yourself with language that makes you feel good.
Mm.
Like he's entering a new chapter in his life, not like he's getting a year older. He's entering a new chapter in his life. He's leveling up. He's whatever is feels good to you. It should be your natural language and way of speaking. That's what you want to write down. It should be words that resonate with you, that excite you. Because it's different for everyone. So that's why I say, like, write your own list of empowering words. Then we've got growth mindset. It's continual learning.
Mm.
So in my 20s, I moved to India.
Yeah.
I'm Indian by origin, and I did not have the self confidence to think that I could learn Hindi or Punjabi. Punjabi would be my mother tongue, and Hindi is the national language of India. So I just didn't have the confidence to think. I always thought I was bad at learning languages, and I would tell myself that. So you see, we are what we tell ourselves we are. We are what we think we are. So if you think you're bad at languages, you're going to be bad at languages. And so I didn't have that confidence to learn language. I kept telling myself, oh, I'm bad at learning languages. I had a block around it, a limiting belief. And so then in recent years, I started taking Hindi lessons. And you're not bad at anything. You whatever you put your mind to, if you want something bad enough, you will be good at it.
100%.
Everything takes time, effort, and patience.
Yes.
And we often give up before we get to that point, that breakthrough point where we were just about to, you know, pick things up, or we give up at the point where it's more challenging or it gets a little bit more difficult. But if you don't give up, if you keep going little by little, day by day, like I said, just a little 1% better every single day, before you know it, you've acquired a whole new skill.
Hmm.
So I started taking Hindi lessons. I'm like, hey, I'm not actually that bad, am I? But it's because I had acquired so much confidence with all the self-work I had done that at that point, I'm like, of course I can learn a language if I want to. So I started Hindi lessons. I did some singing lessons. I even took, during the pandemic, I had a rap coach. And I took lessons, like, trying to learn how to rap. It's very difficult. I could write quite well because 'cause I'm a writer,
Yeah.
but, the actual execution, like rapping is it's it is a true art form, and it's not like I couldn't do it, but you need to want something bad enough to be able to put in that consistent work and effort to becoming skillful at it.
Yeah.
And I would have needed to dedicate time every day on it, and so I didn't continue it, but I'm so glad that I did it because it was so fun to learn something new, challenge myself, something outside of the box. That's how we grow as well. It's pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone.
100%.
So having a growth mindset is a key step to age empowerment as well. Something I've always wanted to do is to learn how to DJ.
Okay.
So that's something that I might take up in, if not now, it depends on how much, like I said, how much time I can dedicate to something new right now.
Yeah.
So if not right now, definitely sometime in my 40s, even when I'm 50, I might start learning how to DJ, you know? So that's a thing. Like, you can be badass at any age. You can pick up any skill at any age. You just have to want it bad enough. Right? So that's it. So, Kelvin, what's something you would want to pick up? Hello, hello. It's Moon Onyx Starr, and you're tuning in to the Check In With podcast. A new hobby or skill.
Learning the piano.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So,
Piano.
so when do you think you'll start that?
Probably January.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking to buy a little mini piano and begin. So
I love
yeah.
that. That's awesome, and I think that's a good idea, like, getting, something mini for your home. Because I with DJing, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
My friend who's a DJ asked him, and he said, "Get a mini controller and use your laptop,
Mm.
and look on YouTube." He gave me a particular, YouTube channel to look at. He's like, "This is really good as a starting point."
Yeah.
So see, even if we just start small like that with something, it's better than never starting anything at all because 'cause we're so overwhelmed. So just small steps. So now we can learn DJing on a laptop now in today's world, right? If I get a small controller and I look at this YouTube channel and they give you the first introductory steps on how to, that's a great start, isn't it?
Great step.
So even if I start that now and then I can progress slowly, slowly, or get into it in the coming years, it doesn't matter. But like, I'm setting that intention and I'm going to put in the action steps to do so. And like I said, it's about patience, perseverance, like just not giving up. Right. So yeah. And that helps us grow neural pathways as well.
Yeah.
So that just helps with your whole mindset, changing your reality, manifesting, changing the course of your life, leveling up. So that's a huge step. And then finally, it is living in the present moment. So that's mindfulness, right? So we're always so worried about the future, what we haven't done, what we're yet to do, or we're so bogged down by the past and by, oh, I should have done this, or by regret. And we waste so much time living in the past, which is history. It's over.
It's done.
It's done, done and dusted, buried.
Buried.
But we live in the past. That makes us depressed. Or we live in the future, which makes us anxious. Why are we not living in the present moment where we could be happy?
Wow.
We just need to focus on the now. And the reason why this is an important step for age empowerment is because you are you exist now in this moment.
Mm,
We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring.
we don't.
The past is done and dusted. Empower yourself to be your best self by taking control and bringing yourself back to the present moment. This is true empowerment. Bring yourself back to the present moment and enjoy the now.
Powerful.
It's the most powerful, liberating, freeing thing we can do. The minute we just take that control back and take that power back, because we can't control the future. Past is done. It's out of our control.
Yeah.
Future is out of our control. I have control over this moment right now, how I choose to spend this moment right here, right now. So do I want to spend this moment worried about something that doesn't exist, or thinking about something that's done and dusted? Or do I want to invest that energy into just being my best self right now?
Yeah.
And your best self could be you deciding you just need this time in bed, just resting.
Mm.
It doesn't matter, but take your power back. I'm not saying every minute of every day we have to be thriving. We just have to be in that moment.
Mm.
That is what will bring you happiness and joy. When you're in the moment, if you're feeling low, think of your gratitude. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate the wins you've had. Just think of how amazing your life is. Be in the right here, right now. And nothing can stop you.
Wow.
So that's a summary of the mindset.
Listeners, I hope you literally had your notepads, your pens, your iPad, your tablet. I mean, look, there's so much information that's been shared today from the amazing Moon Onyx Starr. Moon, is there, because I'm sure there's more. Is there more for you to unpack for us today? Because you've spoken about self-love, you've spoken about self-care, mindset, you've spoken about being intentional and taking back our power and, living in the present moment. What else would you say to the listeners today? What else do we need to know about aging and age empowerment? Is there more for us to take from you today?
I think that is quite a comprehensive guidebook on how you can begin to take your power back and thrive
Yeah.
right here, right now, at any age. But beyond that,
Yeah.
I would say just tap into your joy.
Hmm.
That's it. We just spend way too much time not. We spend way too much time not.
Yeah.
You know, Calvin, you asked me, what am I doing after this?
Yeah.
So I was like, what a wholesome way to start my weekend,
Mm.
right? Do a podcast with a lovely, like minded person where we can empower others together.
Yeah.
What a beautiful way to start the weekend. It's still the holiday period. And how lovely. And then you said, what are you doing after? I'm like, okay, well, this was such a wonderful way to start the weekend. Let's then let me continue with that energy and just really nurture myself for the rest of the day. So I'm like, maybe I'll go get my nails done because you know what brings me joy? Having fresh nails with some sexy color. That helps me feel good and sexy and sassy. And so I'm like, let me get my nails done and then let me go to Selfridges, check out the Boxing Day sales, get me some lip gloss, get me some, whatever it is, just a cute self-love, solo self-love day.
Yeah.
And that's gonna bring me some joy
Mm.
today. So just we need to just have more fun.
Yeah.
We need to stop taking life so seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Just be joyful
Yeah.
and laugh.
Mm.
Laughter is the greatest form of medicine. Oh, and that actually brings me to
Go ahead.
one of the most important steps that I happen to um overlook,
Mm.
which is it's actually the most important one, and I literally just posted I did a post about this yesterday
Wow.
on Instagram.
Amazing.
It is the greatest form of self-care we can have, which is the company you keep.
Wow.
Be mindful of the people you surround yourself with because they will lift you up or they will drag you down.
Wow.
And when it comes to age empowerment, if you're hanging out with people who are thinking that they're getting old, they're declining, they're complaining, they're gossiping, they're negative about, oh, this person has this, I don't have this. They're comparing themselves. They're hung up about what they haven't achieved in their lives. They're not the right crew for you, let's be honest. You need a high vibe crew.
Yeah.
You need a tribe of people that are where you uplift each other, where you support each other, where you are growth oriented, growth minded, you have ambitions, you have goals. You would rather talk about topics that are going to help you advance in life rather than things that are keeping you stuck in this negative cycle. So you are essentially the company you keep.
Mm.
That is your reality.
Yeah.
So choose your friends wisely. So this weekend, like today, I'm more than happy to just have a solo self-love day because I love my company. I'm high vibe. I'm my best high vibe friend I could have.
Yeah.
And my other best friends are all high vibe baddies who have aspirations, who have ambitions, who are thriving,
Mm.
who are taking the steps they can take to work on themselves and improve themselves. We talk about self awareness, we talk about personal growth, we talk about our brands, our businesses, we talk about leveling up. You know how I'm spending New Year's Eve?
Tell me.
I'm going to one of my best friends' places.
Mm-hmm.
We are filling out these booklets where we reflect upon the past year.
Yeah.
We look at everything that needs to be celebrated. We look at things we need to release and leave behind in the past. Then we're going to fill out another section of this booklet where we are setting our intentions and our goals and our aspirations.
Yeah.
Then we're going to create vision boards, our goals for 2025, and we're going to get very specific on those. So career related, um, and any other area. It could be money, career, it could be love, it could be self-love, it could be travel, whatever it is. We're going to create digital versions, right? I love doing digital vision boards. I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
I love to be able to Google exact images. So, because it gives you that specific detail. And you need clarity. So, if you want to achieve a goal, you need clarity on exactly what it is. So, let's say if I want to work with a particular brand next year,
Yeah.
I will get a picture of their exact logo and I will put that logo on my vision board.
Mm.
So, I had done that with Soho House actually
Amazing.
last year.
Yeah.
And this year now, I've done loads of talks at Soho House and they were on my vision board last year. So, it just shows that it works. It really does work. So yeah, more specific the better. So I like digital versions because you can find exactly what it is in your mind, whatever you want to conjure up. You go to the internet and you type it in and you just save that image. Then you put them all onto a vision board, make it clean,
Mm.
concise. You don't want it to be like cluttered or too busy. You can put a few words, few affirmations. If there's a set amount of money you want to make, you can put that there. I would always put, if you have like a money figure in mind, always put plus after. So it's like that or more.
Mm.
Because you don't want to also like cap it mentally as well.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to just be open to even more. So you can put like an affirmation, particular words. If there's a particular country you want to visit, you can print out the name of the country
Mm.
plus a picture of that country, something that in your mind excites you about that country.
Yeah.
Or yeah, just whatever it is that you desire, you can put it on that vision board. And so, yeah, so then what we'll do is, so we'll fill out this booklet. So this is going to probably take us like most of the day.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
like, yeah, this like, so we'll fill out this booklet. So looking back at 2024, celebrating and releasing,
Mm-hmm.
and then setting intentions for 2025, creating these digital vision boards. So we're going to look at our intention list that we filled out.
Yeah.
Then we're going to find those images on Google and then create a collage. So I use Canva to create a collage, which is a wallpaper, a phone wallpaper size. So we'll give you the template, which is exactly the required size. And then I put that on my phone as my wallpaper.
Mm.
So I see that every time I look at my phone,
Yeah.
which is a great way to keep imprinting those thoughts on the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, or imprinting those intentions. And then you still need to take action on those things too.
You do?
So in this booklet, I'll not only write the intentions, I'll write action steps I can start taking
Mm-hmm.
towards those goals.
Mm.
And then by the end of next year,
Yeah.
it's not like because I'm saying it's all going to happen in this year, but it's good to be realistic too. So if you're currently making, let's say, £1,000 a month, and you want to ideally be making, I don't know, let's say £20,000 a month,
Yeah.
to jump from 1 to 20K a month, it might take longer than a year.
Mm.
So just give yourself, set intentions that you know are achievable, but that are still a little bit bigger than what you can imagine right now.
Mm.
Right? So set things which you know you can, because you don't want to set things that are so big that you, in actual reality, would probably take you 5 years to achieve,
Mm-hmm.
but you've put it on your 2025 vision board.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a bit of a mix. So it's like, have those dreams, have those ambitions, but also the more pressure you put on yourself, the more paralyzing it becomes. So
Yeah.
that's why you want to do things in increments as well.
Yeah.
And if you by 2025 you've leveled up this much, great, set bigger goals for the next year. But let's move one step at a time. Because you don't want to, like I said, overwhelm yourself, so therefore you never start. And you're like, oh, I haven't achieved this. Of course you haven't, because you've only given yourself a year.
True.
And also another thing to keep in mind is even though it's your 2025 vision board, those things that you've written down, they just might happen in 3 years from now.
Yeah.
So be open and leave everything. You've put it there, take the action steps, and the rest, let go and leave it to divine time.
Mm.
Everything will happen in the perfect divine time.
Moon, thank you so much for today. You gave, I want to say it's like our version of a TED Talks, because you will be on TED Talks one day, but you gave us so much to take away today.
Yes, that's going on my vision board.
Let's do it. That's going to be amazing. Before you go, what's your favorite season and why?
Like weather season.
Weather season, yeah.
Oh, it used to be spring, because my birthday is in spring, but spring in the UK is cold. It's more like an extended winter. So props not. I would say it depends which country you live in,
Okay.
but like summer in London is like it's really nice, right? If London had better weather, this would be the best city in the world to live in. And, like, there's no other city like London, and, like, summer in London, like, there's no better place to be.
100%.
So it has to be summer
Okay.
for now.
For now. Okay. Do you have a favorite quote? Moon?
Yes, I do. I have so many favorite quotes. Um, I mean, one is "Let go and let God," right? Because that's just,
That's,
like, facts,
yeah,
right?
that is
That
facts.
just is what it is.
Yeah.
Another one is how does the beginning go? I always forget how the beginning goes, but it's something like, you are walking like, you're walking through a door, or you've walked through a door that you prayed would once open, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's beautiful. That's like a manifestation, and another one is by David Bowie, which is, life is the extra no, sorry, aging is the extraordinary process of becoming the person you were born to be or you were meant to be.
Mm.
So it's like aging is actually helping us, aiding us to become that person we were always meant to be, which is our greatest version.
Wow.
So yeah, those three.
Okay. Three more. If you could work anywhere in the world remotely, where would it be?
Hmm. It would be somewhere really warm and hot and tropical. I was in Bali for May, for most of May, and part of me was like, "Why am I not living in Bali? Sorry, why am I living in London?
Yeah.
Why am I not living here right now?"
Yeah.
Um, Somewhere like Bali probably, but the reason why I'm not is because the brands I'm an in-person brand, like, I prefer
Mhm.
to do work in person, and all of the brands I work with are here, the stages are here, my clients are here, and like I said, I prefer in person, I don't wanna be a digital nomad.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite book or film that you like?
Ooh. I mean, since it's, like, Christmas time, Home Alone is one of my all-time favorite movies, it just
Classic.
brings back so it's just such a nostalgic, awesome film,
Mhm.
and, a book I mean, I would probably have to say, hmm, I don't think I have a favorite book. You know why? Books are just so incredible. There's so much wisdom. I've learned so much from so many different books. I just couldn't choose. I couldn't choose, but I do like probably spiritual books. Um, there's a spiritual path that I'm on, so books that have been compiled
Mm.
by this spiritual path, I probably like those the most because those are the ones that really helped me awaken to the true meaning of life.
Mm.
So yeah.
Okay. And last one, because we're about positivity and speaking words of power. If you was to give your 2025 a word, what would it be
So for next year or this past
for
year?
for next year,
Oh, okay. So,
or a sentence, whatever.
well, I think this year, 2024, if I'm to reflect, probably the word of the year would have been okay. So I've actually reflected on this before. 2023 would have been patience.
Mm-hmm.
That was the year of patience.
Yeah.
2024 has been
Mm-hmm.
perseverance. And my word for 2025 is, I would say, clarity,
Mm-hmm.
probably. Clarity is going to be, it's gaining more clarity
Any more clarity?
on everything in every aspect of my life.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Moon, it has been such an honor to have you today. I pray that, as you said, 2025 will be the year of clarity for you. I pray that all the blessings and everything you want to do next year will not only come, but it will just exceed your expectations. It will be levels upon levels and brands and people that you didn't ever think would be in your reach
Oh, that's so sweet.
will,
Thank you so much.
will come to you. No, it's my pleasure to
Levels upon levels. I love that.
levels upon levels. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been your host today, Calvin Anderson with Moon Onyx Starr. Thank you so much. Take care. Speak soon. God bless.